Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, Capri Social Network. So, in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about why the majority of black women don't want nor deserve a good man. And one of the main reasons why, or some of the main reasons why, so many of them don't want good men is because from the early childhood, as far back as their middle school years and teen years, throughout that whole time frame, that whole period, the majority of them started dating usually. And when they did start dating, they started dating some of the guys that were jerks, that were a-holes, the same types of guys in middle school who always got into trouble. You could call them younger versions of a Dirty D. Rodney, Pookie, Ray Ray, Nook Nook. I can go on and on. Guys who always were the class clowns instead of going for the guys that made good grades, guys that were quiet, reserved. Those are the types of guys who they ignored throughout their whole entire middle school years, high school years, even college years. And instead of having guys, well, kids by those types of guys, the guys that meant them some good and that were very ambitious, knew where they were going in life, they decided to usually have kids by the types of guys that didn't mean them any good, the same types of guys that would talk to them like they were garbage, like they were crap. The same types of guys that happened to always abuse them, either mentally, physically, or you could also say emotionally as well. In some cases, all of the above. Those are the types of guys they always went for, only to end up, in some cases, marrying those types of guys, not only having kids by those types of guys, but marrying those types of guys and eventually regretting it. And this is one reason why there are so many bitter black women, due to the types of guys that they ended up usually reproducing with, and in some instances not only reproducing with, but marrying only for those guys to end up abandoning them. Because you call that a form of infidelity stress disorder, like I addressed in a previous video. And it's basically where a woman may get cheated on while being in a relationship with a guy for X amount of months or years, thinking that the guy may have been the guy that would be by her side and be someone who she could be in a relationship for an eternity, only for the guy to usually end up cheating on her and in most cases abandoning her, only to never ever want to put her trust in being with a man again, due to the guy that broke her heart's infidelity. And I also wanted to mention why the majority of black women don't deserve good men, because you can factor in how it never fails on the Kendra G show. Most of those women, whether you pay close attention to those types of women on the Kendra G show, ladies and gentlemen, are usually women that are lower in value, women that have been quote unquote ran through due to them having kids, multiple kids from guys or by guys in previous relationships, only for those guys to abandon them. Women who are usually, in most instances, single mothers. It never fails, always usually appear on her show. All of a sudden they usually want the quote unquote good man in, the decent and upstanding man that makes usually $100,000 a year at the minimum, and in some instances for the max $1 million a year. The same types of guys who wouldn't give them the time of day, because those are the same types of guys, ladies and gentlemen, who have more options due to those guys being considered, as in the words of the late great Kevin Samuels, high value men, guys that could be able to afford in most instances to travel overseas and look for a woman that doesn't have, and in most instances be able to hit it off with a woman usually overseas as a result of passport brothers who won't usually have as much baggage. And whether you know it or not, black women, one of the main reasons, I said again, and I will not quit stressing enough, that you don't deserve good men is due to the extra baggage you always come with. In other words, how you used to come when not only kids, several kids by several men in most cases, most instances, but a lot of you usually are bitter, are full of drama due to your out of wedlock or unwed kids by men, most of the time, men who didn't even offer to, or wasn't man enough to propose to marry you, but yet and still you spread your legs open to those types of men anyway. Men who are some of the usually the worst caliber of men to choose from, the most dysfunctional men, the most bottom of the totem pole men that are usually pieces of S, if you catch my drift. Men who are undeserving for the most part as well. The same types of men, black women, who you usually may brag about to your girlfriends on behalf of how much drama they may come with and how exciting they are, because let's call it a spade a spade. The majority of you also look at the decent, upstanding, and mild-mannered brother as boring, as predictable. And that's one of the main reasons. Instead, you decide to choose some of the most toxic and dysfunctional men by the likes of, once again, a Dirty D. Rodney, a Nuck, Pookie, Ray Ray. And due to a simple fact of how you look at those guys as not only exciting, but unpredictable guys that are a challenge. Because let's also face it, so many black women go for those types of guys due to how they look at those guys as a challenge. Guys who they always complain to their girlfriends and female relatives about, yet and still in the same breath like to brag about. And in most instances, how unfaithful those guys are usually to them. If not usually how unfaithful those guys are to them, how dramatic how much drama those types of guys come with. How, in other words, and one example would be how abusive those guys may usually be. How they look at that as a badge of honor, a lot of you black women, on behalf of how a lot of guys like to go upside your head, so to speak, in other words, usually physically abuse you, mentally abuse you, verbally abuse you as well, emotionally abuse you. Anyway, and when it also comes down to it, so many of you are full of demonic spirits. The reason you go for those types of men too, because let's face it, a woman of virtue, a woman full of godliness, wouldn't be caught with a guy of that magnitude, of that caliber. And it just goes to show you how the types of men that you usually attract black women to go for are usually men that are usually a reflection of your representation of you. Anyway, and without further ado, I'm going to show clips of other people, both men and women, giving their perspectives on why black women both don't deserve a good man nor want a good man. All these clips are courtesy of the social media platform TikTok.
A good man until they are damaged. Good guys are never an option until a woman is tired of being played, until she has kids with a guy that doesn't want anything to do with her, until she's getting old, until she wants a stepfather for her child, until she wants a husband. Early in life, most women choose the wrong guys, and then after those guys spit them out, Now they want a good man. The same good man they thought was boring. The same good man they didn't want to talk to. Understand something. The whole phase is real. If a woman is still going through that, you as a good man will never touch her. You will only touch her after that, and that can be 10 years later. Good guys deal with damaged women. Bad guys get the best years. Good guys deal with women with insecurities, women with trauma, women with anger, women with babies. I don't know who this sister is, but she went off on this post.
Crazy men, because they do not want the good guy. They don't want the nice guy. They want the crazy man. They're gonna be calling them, stalking them, doing all this crazy stuff, cheating on them. That's all they know is crazy men.
I know I normally shit on the men, right? But ladies, y'all finally get y'all turn. Listen, I seen a post today. A woman saying, I finally found me a good man, but he boring as shit. Now see, that's y'all problem. A lot of y'all problem is y'all allergic to prosperity. Y'all wouldn't know success if it hit you right in the fucking heads. You see a good man, you finally got it, and you fumble the bag. Tell me, how does that work? So you tell me you leave him because he's boring. Nah, shorty, he's just healthy and sane. Like, he knows what he's eating tomorrow. He has his day mapped out from hour to hour, and you call that boring. I'm sorry. He's not like the last dude who didn't even know how to take a shit in the toilet and wipe his own ass. He actually knows how to be a man and take care of himself. But you think that's boring. This is the issue. Y'all keep sleeping on dudes who got their life together all you want to. But when you finally ready to stop hitting your face on the concrete and busting your teeth, don't be trying to go back to old dude who's a millionaire now. That ain't how this work. Credit card has expired.
I just saw a post about a lady complaining while indoors, videotaping her husband working outside and complaining basically about him not noticing some of the things that she does, albeit small tasks. They have to get done and she takes care of them. I'm not sure if she's looking for a thank you, but the way she talks about her husband like he's a moron, the same man who is literally being filmed by you while complaining about him, spending time with your 2-year-old while building a deck outside. That's the level of selfishness, the lack of accountability, the level of narcissism, self-entitlement. I mean, the list goes on. You're not thankful that you have this man who, albeit doesn't notice some of the little things, but spends time with his kids and takes care of the home and does what he can. In addition to, I'm assuming, working. You're not thankful for that. Instead, you're going to cyberbully your husband. Boy, you are some prize. Some of these women out here are just some type of trophy. I don't know what you must have done to deserve her. That's sad.
You know what? Y'all women don't want no good man. No, y'all don't. Y'all want the thugs. Yeah, y'all want the guys that's gonna break y'all heart. Yeah, you do. You keep on talking to the same type of dudes. Yes, you do. Be quiet. You do. You don't want the good guys, the simps. The guys that stay in the house and won't cheat on you. You don't want him. He too boring. Right? He too lame. He's not attractive. Girl, you better enjoy that peace that comes with that man. That man offers peace that you ain't never had in your entire life. You hear me? You better get with that man because of what he can do for your soul. You better get with that man for what he can do for your soul. Not for what he can do. Oh, he look good out here. Oh, he fine. Oh, baby, that don't mean anything. The older you get, you want peace and stability and love. That's it. That's all you should ever want from a man. Stop saying y'all want a good man when you ain't even attracted to what a really good man offers you, okay?
Quick thought. For all the ladies who say there's no good man out here and I can't find a good man and blah, blah, blah. Y'all so wrong. Y'all got good men. Y'all call, they in your friend zone. It's the dudes you can call at 2 o'clock in the morning to ask for anything, right? You just don't like him. What you want is the dude who don't want you. That's why you want him, because he don't want you. So don't ever think that. So all the women who think there's no good men, look in your Rolodex. And y'all know y'all all got that one dude that y'all think is goofy and y'all think he's no good, y'all think he's lame, but just because he like you and you know he ain't got a chance, y'all string him along, right? But you don't want to be with him because you know that's weak and you don't want a man that you can just string along like that. So y'all should quit playing with that and understand that there is a good man out here. You just don't identify him or see him as a good man. You see him as a simp. You see him as a sucker. That's what y'all call him. But really, he's just a good dude who like you and you don't like him back. So there are good men that exist. You just want the bad one.
And I also want to add this. See, to all my fellas who may be considered lames according to the average black women or woman, on behalf of all my brothers that may be socially awkward, including and according to the average black woman standards, the same types of black women that would turn you down in a heartbeat, but would go for the average hood dude, the average game banger. On behalf of my brothers, this is on behalf and in regards to my brothers that may be into anime, my brothers that may be into reading books all the time, studying science, astrology, things of that nature. My brothers who may not indulge in any kinds of smoking, whether it may either be weed, cigarettes, on and on. No kinds of drinking, heavy drinking, as in alcoholic beverages. This is on behalf of you, the same types of brothers that may have met women while out and about, only for the woman, after calling her phone and calling yourselves, trying to get a chance to call her so you can arrange to take out on dates, only for those same females to rush and get rid of you on the phone, and even in some instances give you the wrong phone number. And for all you gentlemen that may like to still cold approach women, the few you who do in public, on behalf of how so many of you prefer nowadays to meet women through social media, on behalf of my brothers that may have arranged to go out on dates with women, happen to be right at the site where the date was supposed to have taken place, my same brothers that may be considered a lame according to the average modern day black woman standards, the same types of black women, once again, who will reject you in a heartbeat over the average game banker, hood dude, the average nook, Pookie, Ray Ray, Dirty D Rodney. I'm addressing you, fellas. See, when it all comes down to it, you're being overshadowed for the most part by the average hood dude, the average, once again, Ray Ray, Pookie, Nook, Dirty D Rodney. The reason why you may have been out on dates, arranged to go out on dates when women went to those actual sites, this actual site of the date, only for the women to ghost you, to flake you. That's because she's busy, for the most part, messing around with the average Pookie and Ray Ray. And not only that, let's not forget, so many of them have children as well, my brothers, especially on behalf of my brothers that may not have any kids of their own. That is another reason why she may have flaked on you too, because in most cases, those same ones who may have either ghosted you or flaked you on behalf of meeting up with some to get to know them better by taking them out on dates are usually still caught up when a Pookie, a Ray Ray that they may have had, in most instances, kids by, and who in most cases are usually trapped by those types of men. In other words, may be threatened by those men if they may just try to be with another man after having kids by guys of that nature, guys of that magnitude, the Pookies, Ray Rays, Nuck Nucks. Anyways, there should be around one more clip on behalf of this topic. If you bear with me, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all women don't want no good man. No, y'all don't. Y'all want the thugs.
I told you ladies the rise of the pick-me was coming, and here we are. Second off, these good dudes she's referring to in the video offer the same things the thugs offer. No money, debt, another woman's kids, emotionally unavailable, trauma, mental illness, and mediocre sex. Most of these dudes can't give a woman an orgasm.
It's the mediocre sex for me. I mean, you're supposed to be good at that. Like, creative, just inspirational. And it's just like, how are you bad at that? How are you out here giving mediocre sex too? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, that's the least you could do. I mean, that's just bare minimum. That is so bare minimum. And then you have the audacity to not even be good at that. Listen, they so mediocre to the point it's nothing to drop them. It's absolutely nothing to drop them. Now, if you was getting D down, it's a little different. Okay, you gonna struggle. You gonna struggle. You gonna be like, oh my God, let me just go ahead and hit them up real quick. But when it's mediocre, oh, it's nothing to cut them off. It's like, ugh, well, never got to see that person again. Well, I don't even know who that is. But when it's not mediocre sex and he like really is laying down some good pipe, you gonna double back. You may even triple back a few times until you really got your mind right. You got your mind back together. It's gonna take some time for you to distance yourself. It's gonna be a process, a transition. But when it's mediocre, that's the thing with me, is I'm so honest. Like, whenever I tell y'all stuff like, just leave him, right? And he one of those special cases. He laying some good pipe, and you never had that before. So it's like, oh my God, this a lot. Realistically, you gonna double back about 3 to 5 times before you actually quit. Like, in my mind, I'm leaving room for you to do that. And it's like when I come on here and I say stuff, people think that I say and you supposed to do exactly that. Like, no, like sometimes it takes you like going back 3 to 5 times for you to be like, okay, girl, like seriously, you need to get it together. Like, I leave room for you to have to do that. Like, I don't say things and think that you're just going to go right and do it. Like, no, like it's going to take some time. It's going to be a process. It's going to be a process.
Well, let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, by commenting down below in the comment section. Also, make sure you share the video. You like it. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel. Till next time.